George Hill moves to the point. Hill out with food poisoning tonight. Deng starts the game defending Paul George, who shoots the quick three and drains it.
He stays hot. It's the only one left.
Dwayne Wade only missed one game, and that was for a family situation, not any kind of physical ailment. Oh, that's a good, strong finish from Jan Mahinmi.
Paul George.
Monte Ellis first year with the Pacers, and there's Paul George. Has only played 21 minutes on the season prior to tonight. He challenged the shot by Paul George, but he fouled Paul George, and that's going to be the third foul in the game's first 5 minutes on the Heat starting center tonight, Chris Anderson.
He's claiming he went straight up in the air, and he did. Oh, then he brought his arm down. I think they called a foul at the end of this. Watch, he's very good right here. And then he brought his arm down and fouled Paul George. If he just stayed with the hand up, he wouldn't have gotten a foul on that play.
That's a tough call against Miami. And now the man they started at center will sit down with 3 fouls. And Amare Stoudemire will come off the Heat bench. The two guys that have played very little, 2 veterans, Chris Anderson and Amare Stoudemire, thrust into important roles in tonight's game without Hassan Whiteside available.
And the two of them and Udonis Haslem, they stay in great shape, even though they don't play a whole lot.
Pacers are plugged in defensively. Bosh missing the 3 by 3. This is the first half where the Pacers have led wall to wall. They scored the first 9 points in the game, got off to a 15-3 lead.
Miles is out.
Got Chris Bosh with the Heat's last score, giving him 15, and Paul George draining a 3. That's how the game started. Paul, yours right now by logging on to Heat.com. And if for whatever reason you can't make it to the Heat's hat,
he had the layup on the right, same side. He tried to go on a reverse.
Oh, Deng fanned on the catch, and here comes Paul George in the open court. Oh, the pull-up 3.
Oh man, that time Dragic thought that Deng was going to spot up, and Deng.
And 3 of 17 now. Paul George, another throw.
Oh man, he's in one of those zones. He's one of those great players, and once he gets in the zone.
Even though it was an early game time, a 6 p.m. start at the Verizon Center. Paul George, boy, how quick off the hop has he been? He's got 11 points in this quarter.
Tonight, filling in for George Hill at that point guard position.
Bosh misses the jumper. Rebound to Paul George. Monte Ellis, by the way, played the last 2 years in Dallas. And for the Mavericks last year, he averaged 26 points per game in their playoff series against the Houston Rockets. And the Pacers are starting to score with ease now off their ball movement. Mahinmi got 12 points, 6 coming in this quarter, and the Pacers now have their largest lead of the night at 18, and a timeout taken by Eric Spoelstra. Well, this has been an uphill battle all the way for Miami. They were outscored in the first 3 minutes, 15-3. They've been outscored here in the first 7 minutes of the third quarter, 23-8.
And you can see Paul George with the crossover at 6'9". He's a great ball handler. Hits a teammate going to the basket. All right, check this out now. See where all the white shirts are. George is going to take the ball. He's going to see his man make a cut in front of the Heat defense. What's happening sometimes is when you see a player like Paul George, is you get stuck watching him. And that time the Heat defense was watching.
They have cut an 18-point deficit to 8.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man, Paul George with a jackhammer jam.
You could see that coming as soon as he got to the...
Well, the Heat made a big run, 20-5. Pacers trying to repel them. George gets all the way in. Paul George, first score of the fourth quarter. He's got 25. And Eric Spoelstra calls a quick timeout.
Yeah.
The Pacers are ahead by 7. And they've scored the last 2 buckets.
When a team's making a run at you, you go to your best player. And Paul George delivers.
And an offensive rebound from Mahinmi. That hurts.
That's twice now. This is their 3rd shot on this sequence.
Oh, that's a deflating possession for Indiana. 27 is the closest the Heat have been since the second quarter. Paul George, oh, he comes through again when his team needed him to. 29 for George. Pacers up 4. Now they're on their feet here at the Heat's house. 2.5 minutes left. Pacers down 1 and with the ball. Paul George. It's good. And the Pacers go back. He had 13 in the third quarter. Wade, short. Rebound to Paul. Paul George draws the foul.
He's an excellent foul shooter, and he loves this situation.
Justice Winslow picking up his third foul. Paul George, the number 7 scorer this year in the NBA at 24.5 points per game. Tonight his 12th game of the season, over 30 points.
It's 83% from the foul line.
Now, if you've missed any portion of tonight's game and you just want to enjoy this Heat Pacers battle all over again, tune in tonight at midnight or tomorrow at noon. We'll replay the Heat and Pacers presented by your South Florida Honda dealer.
You got to rebound the miss now. If there's a miss, you got to rebound it, obviously. It sounds obvious, but sometimes teams don't do it.
This is for the tie. He missed them both, and the rebound.